I'm here to talk about my first week of student teaching. This was kind of like the in-service training days, so I was just with teachers and staff, not students yet. This week has been super exciting, a little bit exhausting because of a few things that I'll talk about, and just like full of learning all about teaching and what it looks like to be a part of a staff and a school and interacting with other people, which is something I'm always learning, right? So before I get into what I'm learning about myself, I need to start with who I am as a person first. It's a big part of how interactions with other people go and what I'll be learning throughout this entire process, because really it's just a journey of learning more about myself and how I interact with the world and what I offer the world. I am an exhorter compassion, and you may not have ever heard those words before, and that's okay. But what that means is I want to feel what other people are feeling. I want to bear people's pain through growth so that ultimately they can feel how excited I am about their future. I want to encourage other people towards the future. I want them to feel good about that. I want them to get courage about stepping into the next tense thing. And I do that by feeling what they're feeling and bearing their pain. One thing I've learned about myself and what I'm dealing with this first week is I've met a lot of people, a lot of teachers, a lot of staff members over the past week, right? I am meeting all these new people, and so I'm having lots of interactions with new people. And so as I'm interacting with these people, I'm always trying to figure people out. I'm always trying to figure out what are their intangible drivers, which is what I'm saying when I say I'm an exhorter compassion. That's my intangible driver. So I'm trying to figure out their intangible driver. I'm trying to figure out who they are uniquely so I can interact with them better and know really what our interactions are going to look like to make them profitable, and just understand them as a person so I know why they're doing what they're doing. So as I'm trying to figure these people out, I'm realizing that some of these people are probably very similar to me, and that I think that they also might be exhorters. I think that they might also be people who want to encourage people towards the future and want people to be excited. But the other part of being an exhorter is that we want people to feel what we feel. Right? So I'm exhorter compassion. I want to feel what you feel, and I want you to feel what I feel. But ultimately, I really do want you to feel what I feel. Other exhorters also want people to feel what they feel. So I'm thinking that some of the people I interact with a lot are also exhorters. I could totally be wrong, but that's kind of what I'm jiving. And so what I'm really learning through this process and this past week is, how do I deal with this? How do I interact with someone who's very similar to me in the fact that if we're both exhorters, we both want people to feel what we're feeling, right? So that could be totally different things. We could be going in totally different directions, neither of which is wrong. It's just we might be feeling different things. I'm realizing this about myself, that it's like literally, it is hard and it feels painful to try to feel what someone else is feeling when it's not what I'm feeling, because I'm also an exhorter, and it's really hard. And as I'm learning this, I'm like, oh my gosh, this makes so much sense, because I believe in the past I've also worked with other exhorters, and this is something that I've worked on for years, and I've definitely gotten better at being able to adjust in the moment, to just go, it's fine, I don't need you to feel what I feel, I'm going to try to be a leader in this situation and adjust to you, and I'm going to try to feel what you feel. But as I'm learning this week, I'm realizing I never mastered this skill. And it's something that I really think I'm going to have to be able to do really well as a teacher, because I'm going to have kids who will probably be exhorters, and I might not always feel what they're going to feel. And as a teacher, I'm the leader in the classroom. I'm the one who should adjust. The kids shouldn't have to adjust and feel what I feel. If they're upset or sad or mad or whatever, happy, excited about something, I should be the one who can masterfully adjust to them and feel what they're feeling. And so, super great. I believe that God put me in this place because this is something I need to learn. I believe that that could be a reason I'm here, and I want to try to learn how to master it, but it's really hard, and it's a struggle. But the focus I'm in right now is mirror their emotions. Just make the same face they're making, because that's how you show someone you're feeling what they're feeling, which has actually been really relieving to know that this is all I have to focus on right now, is making the face that you're making. That's all I have to do. That's the only step I'm on. And that's been actually really helpful to just focus on that. So yeah, that's a big thing I'm learning right now, and also realizing about my past. So that's really cool and really painful, and part of the reason that I believe this week has been really exhausting, because I didn't really have a focus and I was just trying to take everything in as it was, and I didn't have one thought to focus on. So getting this step, all I have to do is make the face they're making, has been super helpful. The other thing that's been actually kind of hard to deal with for myself specifically, and just something that it's been exhausting, just like trying to figure out how to deal with it, is probably something that happens everywhere. Like, it's not just this school or teaching in general. I feel like it happens everywhere. But one thing I've known about myself is that I am really sensitive to gossip and real bad negativity, like complaining negativity. I think that I was really mean, like in middle school and high school a little bit, and I probably was really gossipy, and over the years since then, I feel like I've grown a lot in realizing that, one, justice exists. So if I'm being a bitch to people behind their back, not only am I taking value from them and now I owe them, I am also telling myself that I'm cool if other people do that to me. And I'm not cool if other people do that to me. So I think growing in that mindset has just gotten me to the point where I'm really sensitive to gossip. I really don't want to do it. The other thing is that I'm a big supporter of getting out your real thoughts and emotions and feelings about stuff. If you feel negatively about something, I want you to talk about it. I want you to get it out. If you feel sad, I want you to get it out. I don't want you to hide and pretend to have this positive thinking all the time, no matter what, like never talk about anything negative. That is not my thing. But I want you to end in a spot that shows you are wanting to move forward and wanting to do something about it and wanting to have a growth mindset about this. So it's like, yes, I need to get out all my thoughts. I need to get out all my emotions. I need to feel it and get it out. But at the end of that, am I going, okay, but what can I do about this? How can I adjust? How can I handle this well and make sure my thoughts are in a good spot about this? Whether that means that I'm going to do something and take action about it and ask someone some questions, or solve the problem, or whether I decide to maybe forgive someone and let it go, or I decide to just change my thoughts about it or consider where I could be wrong, or whatever I do, can I end in a good spot, a positive spot that I'm going somewhere now, I'm doing something about it, I am figuring out what's in my control because I want to make this situation better in some way. And this is a mindset that I've realized more and more about myself, is that I really don't like complaining just to complain. So it is that getting out all your thoughts and emotions and feelings for the purpose of what? Just feeling better about yourself, or just for the sake of complaining? I don't like that. I really, really, really don't like that. And I'm realizing that it happens everywhere. Complaining and gossiping happens everywhere, and I don't like being around it. And I think it's been exhausting because I'm around it and I haven't been 100% sure what to do about it yet. And so it was like hard being in the moment, not liking what was going on, and just being drained by the complaining that was happening around me and the negativity, and one, feeling super new, so I can't say anything, like I don't want to ruffle anyone's feathers and I don't want to make anyone feel bad or whatever, but also just like not knowing how to bring it up. It's like, what's the best way to go about this? If I'm going to confront this, how can I confront it in a way that's for your benefit and not just for me to feel good about confronting gossiping or whatever? So towards the end of the week, I have been talking to people about it and figuring out how exactly can I go about confronting this, and then I just need to rehearse confronting it, because right now I'm realizing how much I still struggle with confronting this particular thing, because I've had the same issue in other jobs, and well, I did confront it, but it was really, really hard, and I didn't confront it all the times that I wanted to. So at this point, I'm just trying to learn how to rehearse confronting it for their benefit unconsciously, and really it's just like getting to the point where I can be strong enough to do that and step into that tension and be confident in knowing that the way I'm doing it is for their benefit, and it's going to hopefully help the culture. But yeah, so that was a little exhausting, just dealing with that and not really stepping into it at all and not really holding my thought process out well with it. Just kind of letting myself be exhausted by it because I didn't know what to do. The final thing that I am realizing and confirming in my life is how much I need fellowship and how much I need time with people who are going to help me and who will hear me and feel what I'm feeling and will give me insight into how I can respond to these things. Because I wouldn't have learned any of the stuff that I learned at how to respond to these things that were exhausting me unless I was talking to people and unless I was making sure to take the time to get out my thoughts to them and ask for help. I would still be exhausted if I hadn't talked to them and I hadn't figured out what I'm going to do. So that's the story of week 1. Overall, it was good. I learned a lot. I have steps to move forward, and I'm really, really excited for next week where I get to hang out with the kids and talk to them and be with them all day. So I'm really excited about that. I'm really, really excited about that. And yeah, I will probably see you in another video. See ya!